Beer drinking and social responsibility are two things which normally don't go hand in hand. Don't tell that to the folks at the New Belgium Brewing Company. In an industry which is a surprisingly large polluter, especially here in Colorado, New Belgium is pursuing the business of brewing while maintaining environmental sustainability.
It is literally a web of life. Everything is connected, and healthy relationships are what make this planet thrive. When I went into school, I remember thinking, I'm a human, I'm bad, I'm destroying this planet, I have to save the world. What I realized was that I need to look at my own life and how I can change my life, and recognizing that I'm part of the natural cycle, that I'm part of everything that's around me. My name is Hillary Mizia, and I'm the Sustainability Outreach Coordinator for New Belgium Brewing Company. I came to Fort Collins in 1997 looking for an environmental education job. New Belgium was hiring for a guest relations representative working in their tasting room, giving tours and tastings. And I had always heard really good things about New Belgium and how they were a good environmental steward. You like the Abbey, right? Oh no, the Abbey's too foamy. When you're working in the tasting room, you greet a lot of people. And people had a lot of questions about the environmental aspects of New Belgium. So I started to see this trend forming, and I realized that really what the brewery needed was an environmental point person. So I thought up this job, Sustainability Outreach Coordinator, who would really be the environmental spokesperson for the brewery. So I started giving environmental tours, and then it just sort of snowballed from there. Is there anything in particular anybody wanted to see?
Some of the more environmental side of what you're doing.
Yeah. For sure, and that'll be the focus of the tour in general. The brewery started with Kim and Jeff. They're a married couple. Jeff was the brewmaster and Kim pretty much did everything else. They have always been very environmentally conscious people. Jeff is an electrical engineer by trade. Kim is a social worker by trade. So you put the two of them together, you get an energy efficient, socially responsible brewery. The average American brewery consumes 8 barrels of water for every 1 barrel of beer that they brew. We consume about 4 barrels of water for every barrel of beer that we brew, and we try to bring that down. We're working on that with our processed water treatment plant. One of the biggest waste streams coming out of brewery is the water, because when you're drinking beer, it's mostly water. So we decided to build our own processed water treatment plant on site so we could treat our own water and be able to reuse it. We thought, well, we'll probably see a 5-year payback on this program. It was about a $5 million investment. We actually started seeing a payback in 3 years. In 1998, New Belgium started to look at our carbon footprint. Our largest CO2 emissions were coming from the power plant. So we looked into that and said, well, if we purchased 100% of our energy from the city's wind program, it'll offset our CO2 emissions, but it's also more expensive. We're an employee-owned company, so at an all-staff meeting, the wind issue was brought up, and our engineer said, these are all the environmental benefits. And then our CFO stood up and said, it's great, but it's going to cost us a little extra. And it was a unanimous thumbs up. We have a very high-tech voting system. Thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down. So it was a unanimous thumbs up to go with wind power. In '99, we became the first, and at that time we were the only brewery to be 100% wind powered. And other places are starting to pick it up as well, which is really exciting to see. You know, that's what you hope happens when you make a decision you feel is right. Other people see it. So it's exciting. Every decision that you make has an impact. And when you really look at it, it's a relationship, it's personal. And I want to be respectful of everything around me and the people around me, so I try to emulate that in my life as best I can. When I ride my bike to work, I know that people notice that hey, there goes that girl again, always biking to work. And you'll see that a lot going to and from the brewery. Looking at my relationships with people that I give tours to, people that I talk on the phone with, somebody that I meet on the street and tell them what I do at the brewery. That for me, I think, is the most fulfilling aspect of my job, is seeing that ripple effect start just by talking to somebody.
My name is Robbie Roberts, and it's my pleasure to be making this presentation this afternoon.
New Belgium has actually been recognized in a lot of different venues, but most recently we got an award from the EPA Region 8, so it was a Regional Administrator's Environmental Excellence Award, which is pretty much the highest award you could be given inside the region.
It seems to me that you have a success in almost every environmental program that we have. So I am delighted to present this award, and the award is to the company, but somebody has to come up and take it. You know, Kim Jordan. Congratulations, Steve.
I've heard Kim talk about her job as CEO. It's not just about running a business. For her, it's about making magic.
My coworkers are every bit as dedicated to this as Jeff and I are. They make me proud every day. So thank you for recognizing that in us.
Thank you.
One of the things that I realized pretty quickly in my job was that relationships were really important, not only to me, but to the groups that we were involved in. And one of those groups is the Rocky Mountain Sustainable Living Association, which puts on a sustainable living fair every year in Fort Collins. Welcome to the 2 o'clock keynote speaker. New Belgium started as a sponsor, and now I'm the speaker coordinator for this year's fair. It's in its 5th year. We're expecting 10,000 people to come over the course of the weekend from around the country. The Sustainable Living Fair is designed to give its attendees the tools to make change, real environmental change in their lives. It really demonstrates everything that we believe in. There are lots of ways to do things. It's not like there's one magic sustainability pill. I mean, sustainability has 1,000 layers to it. We're all living on this planet together. It only makes sense to try and do it in balance. And I think what needs to happen is a shift in our view of economics to realize that what we do today has an impact not just in 5 or 10 years, but in 7 generations ahead. I think when you're isolated as a company, you really have the tendency to be closed-minded to what's happening around you, and you don't realize all the impacts that you have. And when you're plugged in, you have the ability to take a hold of those things and to see that you can really make change.
Just give us a crack and say, I want to just change it out.
We're learning and thriving with other businesses and organizations, and they're learning and thriving from us as well. And so everyone benefits in that situation. We all, as individuals and as businesses, have to be responsible with our actions. And if we're not, then we're not going to be in business anymore. And our lives are going to change pretty drastically. So we all have to take accountability, and we all have to be responsible for our actions. My job at New Belgium is exciting because it's sort of the living proof that you can have a company that does these things, and you can be profitable, you can be successful, you can be good to your employees, you can have a good time, you can drink beer, and you can still be living in balance.